Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Nomad TCG, and today I got another deck profile for you guys. Sorry it's taken so long to get another deck profile made for you guys, but today we are going to be doing my Faded 1 of 0 Blangdmire deck for September 2025. This is actually my newest deck that I built. I actually got the last support card from this yesterday. That was the last I needed, and now the deck is fully complete. This is just like an all Blangdmire support. There is no order package and nothing like that. It is just strictly all Blangdmire. This is not a budget deck either, so this is like completely done, even with some of the more expensive cards. Let's go ahead and get started. For the ride line, we are sticking with the normal Blangdmire ride line with Cavity Malagia, Hollow Raptor, Vacant Fang, and base Blangdmire in the ride deck, just because there is no guarantee that you will be able to get a base Blangdmire in the soul whenever you ride onto Blangdmire Nexus. So we are leaving that in the ride deck. Moving on to the main deck, we have 4 copies of One Who Walks from Zero Blangdmire Nexus. This is the new form that Blangdmire got in set 8. Which is a very big upgrade for Blangdmire. I think it doesn't feel as clunky as it used to. I feel like it's a lot more consistent with the soul charging and getting cards into the soul, and also getting cards into the bind zone so you can activate the divine skill. So it's got 2 effects. For the continuous effect, this card is also regarded as Faded 1 of 0 Blangdmire. During your turn, if your soul has a card with the same name as this unit gets all of their divine skill, and your front row units get 5,000 power. So if you persona ride from the base Blangdmire onto Blangdmire Nexus, that is a 15k boost, and you also get the divine skill if you meet the conditions. And then it's once per turn effect. This cost can be paid with bind a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name from your soul, and bind it face down. Bind 4 cards from your soul face down. Your opponent chooses 2 of their rear guards and binds them face down, and this unit gets 5,000 power for every 2 cards face down in your bind zone. And until the end of turn, choose up to 1 face down card from your bind zone, reveal it, and if the revealed card is grade 3 or less, call it to rear guard. And if you do not reveal a card, you get to draw a card. So Blangdmire is all about using cards from the soul, gaining power, and then binding them face down. Also has a lot of draw power too in Blangdmire, almost as much as Varga. Moving on, we are running 3 copies of base Blangdmire in the main deck, just so we can activate that skill to bind it from the soul face down. Just God forbid, if you don't get a Blangdmire Nexus, you can just persona ride onto the base Blangdmire if you have no other choice. For the last of the grade 3s, we are running 2 copies of Single Strike Shatter Colossus. It skills, whenever this unit attacks, if your bind zone has 4 or more face down cards, you may have this unit get 10,000 power till the end of that battle. If you do, at the end of that battle, put this unit into the soul. And then, whenever this card is put into the soul by your card's ability, if you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name, bind this card face down, draw a card. So, a little extra 10k attacker, also soul power and soul charge. You can bind it from the soul on the next turn with Blangdmire. So, not super important into having in this deck now, which is why we're only running 2. You can run more if you want, but I don't suggest it. Moving on to the grade 2s, we are running 4 copies of Steam Raider Zamug. This card actually dipped in price, so I was able to grab 4 of these for $4 a piece instead of 17, so that was pretty great, I think. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name, counterblast 1, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, put any number of cards from among them into the soul, and draw the deck. If you put 1 or more cards into your soul, you can draw a card. You may. You don't have to, but you can draw a card if you want to. And then whenever this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name, this unit gets 1 critical and this unit is critical as 1 or less. Energy Blast 3, and this unit gets 5,000 power and an extra crit. I forgot the exact wording of that, which is why I stumbled, so I apologize for that. But extra 5k boost, draw a card, extra crit, good attacker, and then you can restand it with Evoke Alchemist skill as well. So definitely a vital part of this deck. Then we are running 4 copies of Vadrock Dragon. When this card is placed on rear guard other than during the battle phase, soul charge 1, and then you can counterblast 1, choose a grade 2 or less card with a different name from among them from your soul, call it to rear guard, and if you have a Vanguard without Blangdmire in its name, at the end of that turn, put that unit into the soul. So just recycling cards from the soul. If you soul charge like something useful, like Zamug, or even, you know, like a single strike Shatter Colossus, you can just superior call that from the soul, and then also recycle it back into the soul at the end of the turn. Moving on with the last of the grade 2s, we are running 4 copies of Crying Crow's Vartak. This was one of the new support cards that we got for Blangdmire in Knights of Rebirth. It's actually pretty useful. I decided to run 4 of them instead of the order package just because it gets the extra 15k boost. If you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name and your buying zone has 4 or more face down cards, this unit gets all the following. This card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. This unit gets boost, and it also gets 5,000 power and shield, so an extra, so a 10k guard and a 15k boost. I don't know why people would run Game of Underworld instead of, you know these people run like 2 Sagacious Schemers and then 2 Game of Underworld. I don't know why you would run those instead of this. I just feel like it's, you know, a better card with more guard, and it also doesn't have the same cost as Game of Underworld and Sagacious Schemer. Moving on to the grade 1s, we are running 4 copies of Elaborate Wizard. This is another one of the support cards that was released in set 8. When this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, look at the top 5, or look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose a card from among them, put it into the soul, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck. So this can actually be recycled. It does some recycling. Like you could put a rear guard or a perfect guard from your hand, put it into the soul, and then at the end of that turn you can recycle that, put that perfect guard back into your hand, and then also leave more room for drive checks as well. Then at the end of the battle, this unit boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name. Counterblast 1, choose a normal unit from your soul, put it into your hand, and bind this unit face down. So not only are you building up your bind zone to activate Blangdmire's skill, but like I said, you can recycle something that you need, whether it be a perfect guard or even just another support card, whichever one you just feel is best in the moment. Then we are running 4 copies of Evoke Alchemist. During the battle, this unit boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name. This unit gets 5,000 power. And then when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater card with Blangdmire in its name, this unit gets 2,000 power. At the end of that battle, if your buying zone has 4 or more face down cards, counterblast 1, choose one of your front row rear guards, stand it. If your buying zone has 8 or more face down cards, it gets 15,000 power. So ideally, you will be wanting to stand something like Zamug. So if you have the energy to spare, you can swing with Zamug, get the extra 5k and the crit, stand it with Evoke Alchemist, then swing again, get that same 5k and extra crit plus a 15k from Evoke Alchemist. So I feel like Evoke Alchemist is kind of a very essential part of the deck. Moving on to the Sentinels, we are running 4 Sentinels. We are running 3 copies of Repelled Malice Dragon, and we are also running 1 copy of Elementaria Sanctitude. You can either run the base Elementaria Sanctitude, where if your opponent has triple drive, you can't pay the cost, or you can run this one where your opponent has a different crest other than Energy Generator, you don't have to pay the cost. We are only running 1 order in this deck, and that order is Shroud in Darkness, which is the Regalis piece that came out with the Draw Jeweled deck set. If you did not ride from the ride deck this turn, this unit can be played without paying the cost. The cost is Counterblast 1, so it's not like a huge cost, especially in Blangdmire. I mean, you're using a lot of Counterblasts now with Elaborate Wizard, but ideally you would use this on the turn that you Persona Ride onto Blangdmire Nexus. So its ability is choose up to 2 non-Sentinel units with different names, in the sum of their grades being less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop. Call them to rearguard. If you call 1 or less cards, put this unit into the soul. So recycling from the drop and bind zone, or soul and the drop zone, and then you can put this into your soul, bind it with Blangdmire. So just a little recycler. That also works really well in Draw Jeweled, which I think is why they put it in that deck set anyway. So moving on to the trigger lineup, we are running 8 crits, 3 fronts. Ideally, you would want to replace these with Natalia, or even the effect front that we got in set 7, where you just put it into the soul. And then we are running 4 heals, pretty standard lineup for Blangdmire. I always run criticals and fronts because you're drawing enough cards with all this skills from the cards and Blangdmire itself. And then for the overtrigger, we are running Hades Dragon, Deity of Resentment, Galmagaheld, just to get the extra perma-crit and perma-10k for your Vanguard. You can also run Edgelord, or I can't remember the name of it, but the Midnight Overtrigger, the purple one. But for this deck right now, we are just running Galmagaheld for that extra 10k. So this is actually one of my favorite decks. I've been wanting to build it for a while. Suo's a great character, and I cannot wait to go to my locals and start playing this deck. I also have other ones that I've built that I just haven't been able to use yet, but this one I'm super excited to use. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.